Everyone, welcome. Sometimes the most incredible ideas aren't totally new. They're just evolutions, brilliant new takes on something that already works. And that's exactly what we're talking about today. How a simple, really clever way of planting seeds got transformed into this complex, living system that's designed to install an entire ecosystem.
So let's just start with the big question our source material hits us with. How do you upgrade a simple seed into a biological grenade? I mean, that sounds pretty intense, right? And honestly, it kind of is. So let's dive in and see what that's all about.
All right, so to really get the upgrade, you gotta understand the original. The story really kicks off with the legendary Japanese farmer Masanobu Fukuoka. He had a pretty straightforward problem. How do you get seeds in the ground if you're not tilling, and how do you stop them from just getting eaten? His answer was pure mechanical genius.
He came up with the seed ball, and it's pretty much what it sounds like. You take your seeds, you mix them with some clay, maybe a little compost, and roll it all up into a ball. That hard clay acted like a physical shield. It was armor, basically. It protected that precious seed from birds, from mice, from the hot sun, just sitting there, waiting until the rains came, dissolved that casing, and let the seed finally sprout. Simple, elegant, and totally mechanical.
But this quote is where the whole mindset starts to pivot. It gets right to the heart of this evolution. See, Fukuoka's seed ball gave the seed armor, but it still sent that seed out into the world all by itself, an orphan. So the new question became, what if, instead of just protecting the seed, you could give it a family, a built-in life support system from the very second it wakes up?
And that shift in thinking leads us straight to this, the HBNF Spore Bomb. You can see the difference right here. This isn't just a small improvement, it's a totally different philosophy. We're moving away from a passive physical shield and into an active biological system. We're not just protecting a seed anymore. No way. We are literally installing a prepackaged, ready-to-go micro-ecosystem exactly where that little seedling needs it most.
Okay, so let's pop the hood on this thing. What is actually inside this biological grenade? What makes it tick? Because every single ingredient in here has a very specific and very critical job to do.
So first up, we've still got the clay. It's that foundational binder, right? Just like in Fukuoka's original idea. It gives the whole thing its structure, its casing. But here's the key. In this new version, it's not just a shield. It's the delivery vehicle for a whole crew of biological specialists.
And next, we've got Activated Hemp Biochar. Now, this is cool. Think of the biochar structure. It's super porous. It's like a microscopic coral reef or a massive apartment complex. This is the safe house. It's where the microbial army hangs out, totally dormant and protected until it's time to get to work. Now, this is my favorite, dry leaf mold. This isn't just any old compost. You have to think of this as the biological software. It's collected from a healthy forest floor nearby, so it has the specific fungi, the specific bacteria, the indigenous genetic code that is already perfectly programmed to survive and thrive in that exact spot.
Of course, an army needs food to wake up and get going, and that's where the potato starch and hemp seed meal come in. The source calls it the metabolic packed lunch, and that's exactly what it is. It's a dry, stable energy source that the second water hits it dissolves into an instant power-up to wake up all that dormant life.
And what this all shows is that we're dealing with a really precise formula here. The source makes it super clear. We don't guess ratios. This is like biological engineering. You've got 300 grams of clay as the chassis, 100 grams of biochar for the housing, 100 grams of that local biology software, and a 50-gram packed lunch to kick the whole thing off.
And then finally, what holds all this dry stuff together? Well, it's not just water. It's a liquid catalyst, a living brew that's loaded with even more beneficial biology. We're talking Indigenous Microorganisms, or IMO, and purple non-sulfur bacteria, or PNSB, which is an absolute powerhouse at fixing nitrogen.
Okay, so we built our spore bomb. It's dry, it's hard, it's totally dormant. It's this tiny, self-contained biological world in suspended animation, just waiting for one single universal trigger to set it all off. A little bit of water. So when the rain finally comes, it kicks off this incredible four-step chain reaction. First, you get activation. The clay just dissolves. Second, the wake-up call. That packed lunch turns into instant food. Third, the microbial population just explodes, gobbling up all that fuel. And finally, step 4, symbiosis. Right as the seed's very first root emerges, it's born into this thriving, nutrient-rich, biologically supercharged zone that was created just for it.
So you see, this is the really crucial part. The spore bomb doesn't just plant a seed. It's not just giving it a little head start. It's changing the entire game by basically terraforming the soil on a tiny scale, installing a whole ecosystem where maybe there was nothing before.
And what does that ecosystem do? It acts like a soil stomach. The microbes start breaking down the surrounding dead dirt, unlocking nutrients that were trapped. The PNSBs start pulling nitrogen fertilizer right out of thin air to feed the plant. And the fungi create this protective web around the brand new roots. That orphan seed? Well, now it's the center of a bustling, supportive family.
Which really leaves us with this final, much bigger question, doesn't it? By evolving our thinking from simple mechanics to complex biology, we've totally reframed what it means to plant something. Are we just tossing seeds in the dirt and crossing our fingers? Or are we starting to install intelligent, self-sustaining life support systems to help regenerate our world? It's something to think about. Thanks for tuning in.